Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. We just got done with spoiler seasons, and we're getting right back into it. We have another in-game event coming up soon, and this in-game event is most likely going to have new cards released with it. We have the Ruination event. It's very spooky, very Shadow Isles-y. Some cards were shown today. They weren't necessarily stated to be for the Ruination event, unless I didn't see it. But there was a video release showing off the new cards, mostly just the card itself, not actually in game. But we saw 3 new cards, and the assumption is they're going to be for the Ruination event. And a lot of people are also assuming because it's a Ruination event, that probably means we're going to get Viego. Similar to the way we got Aphelios, we're probably going to get Viego as a standalone champ in a small, like, mini champion only expansion that will come with Viego and a few other cards to help support him, just like Aphelios did. So, only 3 cards, so this is going to be a fairly short video, maybe only around 10 minutes or so, but let's look at them. One of them I'm actually really excited for. So, here they are. 3 cards. Technically 4, but one of these cards is creating the other. So we have Thrumming Swarm, Rhymefang Den Mother, which creates Rhymefang Pack, and Ruined Rex. I really like Ruined Rex. I'll just give you my quick opinion of each. I really like Ruined Rex. Rhymefang Den Mother, I see potential. Thrumming Swarm, I think is bad, but I kind of can see myself liking this in 1 or 2 decks. So, let's start off with Thrumming Swarm. Like I said, I think the card is bad, but I think there is some potential here. Thrumming Swarm is a 7-mana 8/4 with Overwhelm. It says, when I'm summoned, create a copy of me in hand if you've leveled a champion this game. Not an exact copy, so discounts, buffs, etc., will not carry over, I would assume. So it's a big unit with Overwhelm. Overwhelm's nice, it helps you close out a game quickly. The way I look at this card, I said this when I was streaming and I saw this card, I was like, oh, it's kind of like Commander Ladros, but for Shurima. And by that, I mean, you played in the late game, and this is trying to finish off the game. I think Ladros does that a little bit better, but also Ladros is a little more expensive because the whole cutting your opponent's health in half, having Fearsome, and going back to your hand after it dies is, in my opinion, a little bit better than Thrumming Swarm. So, why do I think this deck is somewhat playable? And I think it's because of Echo and Zillion. Don't get me wrong, I like Echo Zillion. I don't think it's a tier 1 deck. I think it's a solid tier 2 deck. But I have seen a lot of decks playing, a lot of Echo Zillion players, a sizable amount, a larger than I would have expected amount of Echo Zillion players playing Ruin Runner, the 5-mana 6/4 with Overwhelm and Spell Shield. And the reasoning for that is they're playing it as a win con, and because it goes really well with Chrono Break. I think the 3-mana Revive Your Units Rally, that's the name of it. It's not Chrono Trigger. I've been calling it Chrono Trigger all the time. Is this better than Ruin Runner for that deck, though? I don't know. I personally don't like Ruin Runner in the version I play, but maybe this will see play as a one-of because in general, I'd say Zillion Echo wins by just pure value, like a leveled up Zillion. Sorry, not a level. Well, I guess leveled up Zillion, leveled up Echo. Echo giving you free time tricks, chrono breaks, a little burn as well. So maybe like a really big overwhelm unit that kind of doesn't die. Like this card might help out. I don't know though. It's like really slow. It's expensive. Overwhelm's nice though. And since it creates the copy when it's summoned, not when it dies, you can't really use Hush or like Equinox or something to stop it. So unlike say Commander Ladros. So that's pretty cute. But again, I just don't know. And I've seen some people say like, oh, play it in like Overwhelm. I feel like there's just better Overwhelm cards to play in Overwhelm decks. Like, I don't know, whatever Overwhelm cards are, whatever Overwhelm deck you're playing, like Renekton, Sejuani, etc. So yeah, not the biggest fan of this card, but I think it has some potential. Now the next card. This one I think has some potential too. I'm just not a big fan. I feel like I'm missing things here. Rhyme Fang Den Mother. 6 mana, 5/5. Okay, stat line for a 6-drop. Not terrible, not amazing. When I'm summoned, summon a Rhyme Fang pack. Granted, +1/+1 for each time you have frostbitten enemies this game. Rhyme Fang pack is a 1 mana 1/1 with Overwhelm, so it gets +1/+1 for each frostbite you've done. What deck wants this? Obviously, like some Ash deck. Maybe in the future we'll get maybe more champions that play around with Frostbite. But for now, only really an Ash deck. So Ash LeBlanc is pretty much the only Ash deck out there, and would Ash LeBlanc play this? Like, I guess you could mirror image this with LeBlanc when she levels up and you get the mirror image, and that's cute, and that would be really powerful, but I don't think that's like going to happen too much. If you have a leveled up LeBlanc and you're getting to cast mirror image, I hope that's the name of her clone spell, you're probably winning the game anyway. Second off, I feel like there's better cards you can play that are more late game oriented than Rhyme Fang Den Mother in an Ash Noxus deck, like Incisive Tactician or Captain Farron even. Like you can use, since the Incisive Tactician was buffed to be a 5/5, you can just copy the Tactician and continuously rally until you run out of mana. Or your opponent kills the Tactician, of course. I've seen some people say, like, how about like Spooky Ash? Spooky Ash is, if you don't know what that deck is, it's a Freljord Shadow Isles deck that plays only Ash as their only champion. Sometimes maybe like an Elise or something, but usually just only Ash, and it plays things like Rekindlers to bring back Ash, and then Harrowing to bring back an entire board of 6 Ashes, which then you attack in with all those Ashes. It freezes your entire opponent's board, and then they can't block because of how leveled up Ash works. The problem with that is that if Rhyme Fang Den Mother is played in that deck and then dies, your Harrowings are going to bring back the Rhyme Fang Den Mothers first before the Ashes, and then you might not freeze everything on your opponent's side of the board. Now, granted, you can also technically use Harrowing to bring back the Rhyme Fang Den Mother, and the Rhyme Fang pack itself will not have Ephemeral, so that's kind of cute, but again, I just don't know of a deck that likes this card. I think the card is powerful, don't get me wrong. Like, creating 2 bodies that are somewhat sizable is pretty strong. 6 mana, it's a little expensive. I've also seen some people say, like, oh, it's a win con for, like, Ash, Tom, Kench. That deck doesn't exist. I'm sorry if you like that deck, but that deck's not real. People tried it when Tom Kench first came out, and then they were like, well, this is just inferior to, I don't know, Tom Soraka. But maybe this will help out the rare guy who likes Ash, Tom Kench. But yeah, this definitely is an Ash card. Now the third card, Ruined Rex. Not Riptide Rex, but, well, technically Riptide Rex, but he's been ruined by Viego. This is the card I think is the most playable out of all of these cards. 5 mana, 3/3, a little small for his mana cost. Play him. Cast Cannon Barrage on randomly targeted enemies for each card you've drawn this round, up to 5 times. So there's a hard cap on it. Cannon Barrage is the thing that Riptide Rex does already. Target things randomly, deal 2 to it. If it's gone, deal 1 to the enemy nexus instead. I kind of really like this card. Seeing this card also makes me really happy that Rummage got nerfed, because, oh boy, this card with Rummage would be terrifying. Honestly, it's still terrifying with Rummage, in all honesty. Like, you play Rummage, you play this, that's already at minimum, if you haven't drawn anything else, that's 3 cards, because you got the draw for the turn and the 2 cards from Rummage. That's 3 Cannon Barrages. And then if you set up, like, your previous turn with, like, a pick a card, you've maxed out already. So I'm a little scared of Ruined Rex. Bilgewater has been down in the dumps. It got a lot of buffs recently, though, so it's been getting a little bit of help. And now Ruined Rex is coming up. I'm a little scared of this. Riptide Rex, like, assuming you get all 5, that's a lot. Riptide Rex does what? If I believe it's 6 Cannon Barrages, so only 1 more Cannon Barrage, but granted, it's technically easier to do all the Cannon Barrages for Riptide Rex. All you have to do is plunder. And how many of these Cannon Barrages do you want before you're happy that you played Ruined Rex? I'd say you want at least 3 to be happy. If you play Riptide Rex as a 5 mana 3/3 who Cannon Barrages once, you're probably extremely sad and not going to have a good time. You get 2, sure, it's not terrible. Like, I'm not the saddest, but I think this card's good. I think you are going to play this. You're going to definitely, I think someone out there, myself, is going to be one of these people, but a lot of people out there are going to try Twisted Fate Jinx, aka Casino. If you didn't play the game back then, that was a deck. You would play Twisted Fate, you would play Jinx, play things like Slot Bots, Riptide Rexes. You would try to level up TF and Jinx as your main win cons. Jinx because you would just discard your hand, using things like Rummage to draw cards to help level up TF. That's a lot of card draw. Ruined Rex likes that. And an on-curve Ruined Rex who's maxed out up to 5 Cannon Barrages feels like a game winner to me. Still though, I think you'll only time will tell, but I'm really hyped for Ruined Rex. Might be a little too big brain for me, but I'm really hyped for the guy. So, that's all 3 cards that we're spoiled today. Maybe we'll get Viego tomorrow. Perhaps. Maybe we'll get Viego a little bit later. Who knows? But I'll definitely make a video on Viego when he comes out. So that's going to be it for today's video. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to talk about. So I like all these cards. I think all these cards have some competitive potential, with Ruined Rex having the most. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you think Ruined Rex is trash. Maybe you think there is a deck out there that I've missed that Rhymefang Denmother would be great in that I just forgot about. And maybe you think Thrumming Swarm's actually good. I'd love to hear your opinions down below in the comments, of course. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, I don't really have much to say. I said that already, didn't I? Whatever. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video in general, it'd be really cool. It'd mean a lot if you could leave a like or a comment down below, of course. And if you guys want to keep up with the Legends of Runeterra content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to watch me play some Legends of Runeterra, you can always go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zenaton. I stream there pretty much every single day. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all once more for watching this video. And until I see you guys in the next one, bye!